The House versus NCAA was settled this past weekend. This settles 3 antitrust lawsuits, essentially claiming that NCAA was illegally limiting earning power of athletes. I know that you're a bit more studied with your background, so do you want to walk us through kind of what this means exactly and how it impacts college athletics?
It's a very, let's just say it's a fluid situation, and it's always has been. And kind of everybody in our, like the collectives type realm have been waiting for this to happen. We're all kind of just hoping and waiting for it to happen because it just means that there can be a greater level of cooperation between the collectives and the schools. There's a lot of schools that are just like shutting down their collectives, and that's their prerogative and they can do whatever they want. At WSU, that's not going to be the case. It's just going to increase how much we work together. The biggest deal, at least what I anticipate as an attorney from what the House is doing, is it's basically just laying the groundwork and the framework to compensate the athletes who are currently at the schools, and like, you know, trying to institute all these other different things that they just kind of like threw in that were kind of like the NCAA required them from, you know, hey, if we're going to settle these, you know, we want this and this and this and as well. And like they try to package all this stuff and throw it in there. And the stuff that they packaged up and threw in there, like roster limitations and different ways that they can manage to anybody who's aware of what's in there. There's this new clearinghouse that they're putting together that Deloitte is going to like basically determine what's a fair market value for a deal. All that stuff, the lawsuits are just going to keep coming. And so that's kind of like the frustrating part, is like, why even try? Like, don't try to do that, because it's just going to delay everything. But the really nice thing that's going to happen is that now there's a framework in place to pay out the former athletes who were unable to recover any sort of, like before NIL even existed, you know, like the Luke Falks of the world or the Jihad Woods of the world, who were exceptional college athletes, amazing for our institution, who were never able to receive any sort of compensation for that. Now there's a framework, and there's I guess it's, I don't know if necessarily they called it a class action, but there is a class, quote unquote, a class of former athletes who can then put in their name and say, hey, my name is Luke Falk. I played football at this, you know, period of time. And then they have like some calculus that they create to say like, you're worth X, and that they'll have some payout over time. It's a way to bring fairness to all these, you know, older athletes who are like, what about me? My hope, and I don't know, this is kind of selfish and it doesn't really matter too much to Coug Nation, is like that this will bring some semblance of fairness to guys like Reggie Bush, who when I was in school was like, honestly, we knew we were going to lose. We just went to go watch him. Like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. And they took his Heisman Trophy away. It's like, dude, anybody who saw him in college was like, this guy was, and you get it. Hopefully this sets the stage for like, hey, if Pete Rose is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, then Reggie Bush needs to get his Heisman back. Like, this is crazy.